Hi and welcome to the part 3 of the series Lose Weight Effortlessly. In the last part we spoke about the importance of sleep, and this part we'll be dividing into two parts. It will be part 3A, where we'll be addressing the important topic which is your eating habits. Now if your sleep is not right, no amount of food and the type of food and how much food you have, it is going to impact your body. So you have to first take care of your sleep routine, and then you have to make sure you have to work on eating habits. It is not about food. So in this video we'll understand that when you go into food, you people will try to sell you these three things which you don't have to do. What are the three things which you don't have to do when it comes to food and eating? And then we'll understand what you have to eat and when you have to eat. And in the next part 3B, we'll be talking about how much you eat and how you eat. So when it comes to food and diet and losing weight and staying healthy, it is important that we address eating habits and not food. If you remember, in the first video I had mentioned that you have to make sustainable lifestyle changes, and those changes will be in your habits. Now when you focus on habits, you will be free from all these things, which is the first one is no calorie counting. Your ancestors, your grandfathers, your forefathers, they did not eat and they counted calories. What they were doing is they were eating their food mindfully. The mindful eating has to be the part of your life and not calorie counting. Now what is mindful eating? That will be in the next part. So no calorie counting, no depending on an app or a sheet or a chart to tell you that how much you have to eat. I had joined a nutrition course, and the reason I dropped out of that course, because when the moment they started teaching me how much an apple piece is equal to how many calories, I said that's that is too much. We are not born to look at food in terms of numbers, but you have to eat your food mindfully. So no calorie counting. The second is no diet trends. So somebody is going to tell you, skip your breakfast or skip your lunch or skip your dinners. Then somebody is going to tell you avoid XYZ thing, avoid fat, avoid this is not good, this is not good. So no diet trends, no eating salads, no surviving on soups, no cheat days, no guilt eating, no any kind of diet trends. You have to just stay away from it. So if you say, if I don't diet, then what do I do? We'll understand what and when you eat. And the last one is no tips and tricks. Somebody is going to tell you, oh, take my shake, don't eat the breakfast, and then you will lose weight. Yes, you might lose weight, but you will also lose your health. Somebody is going to tell you, oh, you have apple cider vinegar in the morning, then you will automatically lose fat. Or have warm water or have some lemon water, you will automatically lose weight. You will have green tea, you will lose weight. Imagine if any of this thing was working as an effective weight loss method, nobody in the entire world would have been obese or overweight. The problem is these calorie counting, diet trends and tips and tricks do not work. What really works is your eating habits. Unless you take control of what you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, all this will be temporary and it can never be a long-term sustainable solution. So we will address the eating habits, which is what is in your hand and not what something is coming from outside in a form of a chart or an app or a diet trend or a product which is packed and people are selling you. So let's understand, when it comes to eating habits, we'll first address what you eat. And the answer to this complicated question of what you eat is, again, it comes from your ancestors, that our ancestors, which is you have to eat home cooked food. 80% of your time, which is from the year, throughout the year, 80% of the time, let's say 300 days, you have to make sure that you are eating home cooked food. That is the answer to the question. So you don't have to go into calorie counting, dieting and tips and tricks. You have to make sure that 80% of the time you are eating home cooked food. And if you are living alone, if you don't know how to cook, please learn how to cook. Now what to cook? So you will say, like, I'll get Maggie or I'll get those ready to eat food and I'll cook them in my kitchen. No, it is not what you have to do. You have to make sure that the food that you cook has to come from these four categories. The first one is your fresh meat. So if you are a non-vegetarian, if you are eating meat, you have to make sure that the meat is fresh, it is not processed, it is not frozen. Fresh meat, bring it, cook it, and then eat it mindfully, which we will be discussing in the next video. The second is fresh dairy, which is your milk, ghee, paneer, cheese, curd. This is what the body needs. It has to be fresh, it should not be processed, it should not be packaged, it should not be highly processed. Fresh, go it in your local dairy, buy, make sure you make it properly, you heat it, and then you consume them. The third one is all your non-perishable food items, which is, this is especially for people who are vegetarians. This is their main base of their food, which is their dal, rice, roti, your millets, your beans, whatever the non-perishable items which can stay without refrigeration. All your grains, all the, basically we call sukha anaj in our local language. So that has to be the third category, and it has to be cooked in your home. And the last one is your fresh vegetables and fruits. Now, to understand that our ancestors, our forefathers, they did not survive on vegetables and fruit. Fruits and vegetable was part of their diet, but that was not the major part of their diet. The major part of the diet, or the major source of energy from the food which came, was from the meat, dairy, and the non-perishable food items. Yes, you can add fruits and vegetables in your food, but don't go crazy. Oh, I need to eat veggies, I need to eat more fruits if I have to lose weight. It is not going to help you. So you have to balance it properly, and then you have to make sure that you are eating home cooked food. And if you don't know how to cook, then you have to learn how to cook and not fall into calorie counting, dieting trends and tips and tricks. Now the next question is, after what you eat, is when you eat. And the answer is, you have to eat when you are hungry, or you have to eat on the meal time. So the meal time is your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. And you have to make sure that you are eating only when you are hungry, and not when you are upset, you are bored, you are lonely, you are angry, you are sad, you are happy. No, you have to eat when you are hungry. You have to listen to your body. That again we'll be talking about in the next video. And the importance is on during the meal time, which is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you are living the life in the natural way, you are sleeping properly, you are maintaining the other elements of lifestyle, your body will naturally feel hungry during breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Some people say, oh, I wake up in the morning, I don't feel hungry for the breakfast. Then there is a problem. Your body is running on stress hormones, or your lifestyle is very poor. Because if you have your meal at 9 p.m. and then you wake up at 6 a.m., so 9 hours your body is not getting food. You have to automatically feel hungry. So breakfast anywhere between 6 to 9 a.m., lunch anywhere between 12 to 2 p.m. and dinner anywhere between 6 to 9 p.m. Now if you follow this properly to the T, it is the entire process of staying healthy and losing weight will become very easy and effortless. Now what happens is that we don't follow the meal time. Sometimes you have it at 12, sometimes you have it at 2, then at 4, and then sometimes when you skip your meals, then you are confusing your body, and your body is going under stress response, and it is trying to store more fat. Now one important thing you have to understand when it comes to eating your time, eating your meals on time, to lose weight and stay healthy, you have to make sure that you plan your meals. So what will I have in my breakfast? I have to plan it tonight. What will I have my lunch? It has to be planned. You have to take your lunch to your office, college, school, wherever you are traveling. People say, oh, the lunch is, or the food is not hot, so I order the hot food. Understand that the home cooked food which is not hot is 100 times much better, much healthier than the hot food that you get from the outside via food delivery apps. So no food ordering. Yes, you can sometime, once in a while, it's okay. Remember, 80% of the time it has to be home cooked food. I used to travel, so 6 years I studied pharmacy. I used to travel every day 1 hour, and I used to take my lunch from my home, and we used to eat during our break, and the food was not hot. There was no service or a facility to heat food. We used to have our roti, sabzi, rice, dal, whatever I used to get from home. So if you stick to eating home cooked food, and if you stick to your timings, and you make sure you plan your meals and you don't leave it to the chance. So let's say, oh, I will see what I will eat, and if you say that if I see what I will eat, then you will automatically make unhealthy choices, because when you are hungry, the body just craves more sugar, carbohydrates, and all the what we say all the processed food which is cooked outside. So if you have the food with you, then you will automatically open your tiffin or box and you will eat that food, and you will not browse through what should I eat. So make sure you plan your meals, you carry your meals, you have your meals during the time which is breakfast, lunch and dinner, and what is the home cooked food from these four categories, and avoid all the processed packet unhealthy food. And this has to be followed for 80% of the time throughout the year. Once in a while it's okay, and if you follow this properly, you will see the change in your body. Now the one thing which is pending in terms of that completing the entire equation of eating habits is how you eat and how much you eat. So you will be having question that if I don't count calories, then how much should I eat? So that we will be addressing in the part 3b of this video. So I hope this video helps you to understand that if you really want to lose weight and gain health, you don't have to count calories, you don't have to go on any diet trend, no tips and tricks on social media by influencers. You have to work on your eating habits. You have to eat what your ancestors, forefathers, they were eating home cooked food from these four categories, and they were eating their meals on time every time, and they were eating when they were hungry during the meal times, and not when they were upset, sad, lonely or angry. So take care of these two important elements, which is what to eat and when you eat. If you have any questions around this, please post it below the video, share it with your friends and family, who are stuck in dieting, calorie counting or tips and tricks, or taking some fancy products which is not just harming their overall health, but it is also impacting their quality of life. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, please post it below the video. The next part is very important, which is how you eat and how much you eat, and I'll see you soon in the next part. Thank you so much.